Concept of a family medicine, family relationship. We are very little research there, but I think it has to become movement where a focus on sort of more comprehensive family care is there, where the family doctor relation has to become grateful. The early detection is more important. It's again going back to education and having a database so you can have anyone above 40 or 50 years in age should be getting a regular eye checkup. Or if you have a family history, then it's flagged up that okay, you are more at risk for these things. So I think ultimately using data and education. I mean, these are the two most important aspects for ophthalmology that I can think of. 90% of cancer is related to environment. It's only 10% which is some hereditary component. Two or three major things. One, about 1/3 of world's cancer is related to tobacco. Now, how do we eliminate tobacco from our lives? This is a question. So, other than tobacco, definitely we have things like One is weight and physical activity. So for being overweight and being sedentary, that is it is supposed to be you say sitting like smoking. So working in the same body about 1/3 of blood cancer is related to tobacco.
Uh, so namaskar, hello and welcome to this very solemn occasion of Doctors' Day 2025. And today, on this very solemn occasion, we would be remembering and commemorating the great grand works of two eminent doctors who worked for the advancement of this nation on two distinctive frontiers. Today happens to be 1st of July, which is both the Janma Jayanti as well as the Punya Tithi of the legendary Dr. Vidhan Chandra Roy, in whose grand memory the Doctor's Day. Namaskar, just a moment. Hello and welcome to this very solemn occasion of Doctor's Day 2020. So, Dr. Vidhan Chandra Roy, as we all know, a very eminent physician from the land of Pashchim Bengal, the second chief minister of the state, and a very eminent physician himself who founded the Medical Council of India. So, this is the very solemn day. Doctors or so Vaidya and Namastubhyam. So we all pay our obeisances to all the Vaidyas, all the eminent doctors whom we intend to commemorate on this very special day out here. And today also happens we are converging two very special commemorations every year on International Yoga Day, as you were watching as a prelude to today's Future of Healthcare Forum. We at Rethink India take this effort in recognizing every day on International Yoga Day, which is 21st of June, and which also happens to be the Punya Tithi of one other eminent doctor, Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar, who was also a medical doctor very early in the years 1916. So 110 years hence, he acquired his medical degree, but somewhere he felt at that point in time that the national consciousness has to be healed. It needs that Aarogyata from the tutelage of the imperial powers, the colonial powers, which had rusted the entire body politic, body social of this Bharat Varsha. So Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar ki smriti mein we felt to carry forward this entire yoga, the Maha Yoga, because yoga has got multiple dimensions, and And as the way the entire domain and dimension of healthcare is advancing, so it talks for integration. And if I may be I would request Dr. Surbi, I think we've been joined in by all our eminent guests whom we intend to pay our humble tribute on this very solemn occasion. In the future, in this future of healthcare forum, the kind of themes which we at Rethink India Institute and the Aarogyam Institute of Integrated Medical Sciences, we happen to be a Amazonian and IITian couple who is spearheading this entire movement, that human body as a systemic whole vis-a-vis the segmented medical specialty. So this remains the lead motive of the entire yoga, the integral health care, एक समग्र चिकित्सा पद्धति की जो बात है, this is what we have been trying to champion under the aegis of this future of healthcare forum. The augmented healthcare intelligence, which comprises of accurate diagnosis, optimal investigation, the judicious medication. I have with me Dr. Surbhi, whom I would be introducing, the president at Rethink India Institute, to talk more about this philosophical aspects, what we are trying to work around. The institutional health at the schools, colleges, universities, offices, because that's where the working population, the educational population is all about. So, integration, so this has also to be taken into account, the yoga of institutional health. With that of the community health, residential societies, wards, villages, townships. So, this is the kind of integration we are talking about, we are trying to carrying forward. In that spirit, the Future of Healthcare Forum has been advancing its footprints out there. The remote and rural health, in terms of teleconsultations, telediagnostics, med e-commerce, patient monitoring, so and so forth, the kind of very patient level devices which have come through. Personalized digital health, point of care vitals, data analysis, action, and most importantly, the public health ecosystem, from PHCs to CHCs to DHCs, district healthcare centers, and then to the tertiary healthcare centers uh, in AIMS, which have now come all across the country. Synthesizing technology with traditions, allopathy with Ayush, and Dr. Surbhi, in her personal capacity, and his entire league of AIMS onions, they are trying to build up, and we have very eminent guests today who would be talking more about this aspect. Then corporate with community. We talk a lot about the corporate healthcare, but then there is a community healthcare, an equal burden out there. The yoga of both. Then streamlining preventive health, protocolized health, the integral health, the integration of physical, mental, and spiritual. And the bottom line remains is the efficacy of healthcare, the affordability, and most importantly, the accountability. Balancing the agency of an independent doctor on record with the enterprise, the growing, I would say, universe of enterprise of healthcare for the continuity and convergence of care. The ethical, empowered, and multi-dexterous healthcare human resources, regulating regimens of the clinical establishment. So, this is the larger philosophical nugget under which we have been carrying forward our interventions in the healthcare space. And today, on this very, very solemn occasion of Doctors' Day, I would now bring in Dr. Surbi to welcome all our eminent, I would say, five eminent doctors and then two institutions in the spirit of community healthcare. We wish to felicitate in the various categories, listen to their works, listen to their advocacy, listen to their vision of an आरोग्य भारत, आत्मनिर्भर भारत की हम बात करते हैं, विकसित भारत की बात करते हैं, पर जो एक शरीर माध्यम खलु धर्म साधनम, which remains the motto of one of the most eminent now the galaxy of medical institutions, the AIMS, the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. I would invite Dr. Surbhi to invite all our eminent dignitaries, the doctor doyens, this evening on this Future of Healthcare Forum, personally, and then we will move forward.
Namaskar and a very warm good evening to all our distinguished doyens in the medical healthcare space.
Your voice is not audible.
Yes, I'll just be a bit louder. So, am I audible now?
Yes, now you are audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just a moment. So, I take this very distinguished opportunity and moment to welcome all our luminaries, our medical doyens, and doctors, and medical architects, and health promoting schools aboard this very special Doctors' Day commemoration, this 1st of July 2025. I welcome Madam Dr. Renuka Bansal Malik, ma'am. She's a doyen in herself from the 1966 batch AIMS. I welcome Professor Dr. Chandrasekhar R. Sir, medical architect in himself, and played such an important role in laying down the infrastructure, planning, and design of healthcare institutions. I welcome Dr. Saurabh Pahuja ji, who is a very distinguished pulmonologist, critical care specialist, and working day and night like a commando for respiratory critical care. I welcome Dr. Isha Shukla, madam, a very distinguished and renowned neurologist, and she is such an astute diagnostician and treatment commando in herself, and a very distinguished member of the AIMS grand round, where we discuss such complex cases, day in and day out, pertaining to various medical systems. I also take this opportunity, of course, Professor Dr. Yash Gupta, sir, who is traveling in London. I'm sure he'll be joining us shortly. He's such a doyen in himself and the author of the book Science in Sanskrit Scriptures, and a fellow of the Royal College of Royal College of Surgeons from based out of London, UK. He's a microsurgery and tissue expansion techniques expert, a plastic surgeon himself, who relates the Sushruta Sanhita to the modern surgical techniques. Doctors' Day is such a sentimental moment and occasion for all of us. We doctors are, day and night, while the soldiers are fighting on the borders, we are fighting to save lives across patients in hospitals, in outpatient clinics, in inpatient wards, and so on and so forth. Healthcare is such a sensitive and delicate issue in itself, and I feel that the healthcare space is a point of teamwork. It's a domain of teamwork. Not one doctor can save a patient alone. It is a complete teamwork of all the specialists, the generalists, the medical architects, the planners, hospital planners, from the ward boy to the nurse to the OT technician to the surgeon. And I hail from the prestigious All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and I'm a graduate from the 1999 batch of the AIMS Delhi, and had the good opportune privilege to be under the tutelage of Professor P. Venugopal, sir, who was the director and who performed the first, the transplant, in the heart transplant. Such an eminent cardiac surgeon he was. And we pay our tributes to Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, sir, who in whose memory, in whose birth anniversary, we celebrate 1st of July 1882. And the Doctor's Day is something, I think, when a patient wishes you a happy Doctor's Day, I think it just makes your day. When somebody says, "Oh, doc, you saved up my life, you made a difference, you helped me smile," it makes such a lot of difference. and it gives such a great deep sense of satisfaction. We at Rethink India, it's this is our effort and endeavor to felicitate and celebrate all the good efforts taken by the doyen doctors and the even the health promoting schools. When we talk of schools, the productivity of students or of youth, the young population at large, is determined by the good health practices. The World Health Organization has delineated some 87 parameters of how health promoting schools can be identified. So at Rethink India, our community, which we interface with so many academic institutions, we wish to promote healthcare across the schools, especially and at the academic institutional level. So
Thank
with
you.
this, I request Rakul.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Surbhi. It has been a fabulous introduction all across, and वो कहते हैं कि परिचय की आवश्यकता. I think we have been joined in by the doyen, Dr. Yash Gupta sir, just right away. So I will just start of the ceremony, the solemn ceremony which we are all assembled over here. What we felt is in the Rethink India parlance that Aarogyata, it is the freedom of disease. We created a kind of a quad, and we segmented it across so that the focus, the futuristic focus, which is coming more from therapeutic to preventive. In that, just a moment. Okay. Yes. Spotlight. So moving the first felicitation we would really like to bestow upon the tribute to the legendary Professor Dr. Yash Gupta. We would really like to bestow upon Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar Arogya Ratna, and shifting focus from treatment to prevention on Professor Dr. Yash Gupta, as exemplified by his transcendence from being an expert of microsurgery and tissue expansion techniques to repair complex wounds, being a fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons, to his unprecedented unraveling of the sutras of science in Sanskrit scriptures and uncovering the philosophical treatise of a fulfilling life therein. The entire aspiration of Jivem Shardah Shatam, Pashyem Shardah Shatam, Buddhyem Shardah Shatam, Rohem Shardah Shatam, Pushem Shardah Shatam, Bhavem Shardah Shatam, Bhuyem Shardah Shatam, Bhuyasi Shardah Shatat. So this entire aspiration of Aarogyata, which has been there into the civilized national ethos of Sanatan Bharat, that is what Dr. Yash Gupta represents, the essence of Aarogyata, as we can say. So I would request Dr. Gupta to accept this token tribute from this forum and also illumine us, enlighten us about his work, his entire journey, being a plastic surgeon to now transcending, unraveling the science sutras and really creating a different paradigm of Aarogyata, whereby the I would say the eminence of India, which used to be there on the medical field, and how to integrate it back into the most modern systems. Professor Dr. Yash Gupta sir.
Sir was just here. I think he's having some problem with this video, so he's just logging back again.
Okay. So let me, we will come to him. So now we would really like to felicitate Dr. Renuka Bansal Malik ma'am, who has put patients in the center of healthcare. So Arogya Vibhushan is the category whereby we really honor, in the name of the legendary Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar, those eminent medical personalities who have put patients in the center of healthcare. I would request Dr. Surbhi to read out the citation in her honor, Dr. Renuka Bansal ma'am's honor. Please, Dr. Surbhi.
So, Dr. Renuka Bansal Malik, ma'am, I would just speak a bit about Madam. Madam is an Amazonian from the 1966 batch, and she is a very distinguished Amazonian, and she did her master's in general surgery and has served the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, and retired as Director Consultant in HOD Surgery from LBS Hospital at the Government of NCT Delhi. Madam is a distinguished laparoscopic surgeon and general physician herself. I would request Raghav if you could just read out its.
Okay. So, Dr. Renuka Bansal's ma'am citation, what we could gather from our conversations and research, her patients in the center of healthcare is exemplified by her personal medical practice as well as her sustained power packed advocacy uh, pertaining to the search of a right doctor, the good generalists, the quality family doctors who understand the body as a whole and are also familiar with the ailments of the patients under their care, along with the daring declaration that too much specialization and further super specialization is like a pyramid without a strong base, and the policymakers should come out with more of such courses that support the baseline, and the respectability of the Ghar Ka doctor should be heightened. So this is what Dr. Renuka Bansal Malik's key contribution, key feature, key facet, which we would really like to honor on this very solemn occasion. I would request Dr. Malik to accept this token tribute from this August forum and also illumine us about her works and enlighten us out here. Ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Uh, I'm first of all very thankful to you for having bestowed this honor on me. I don't know if it's deserving of me or not, but yes, uh, your organization I've got introduced to recently. So, but I suppose our thoughts and our concepts and basic values are very, very matching. You're working on the same grounds on which I have been working. I was born in a family of freedom fighters who went to the jail for the freedom of the country. And then later on, my mother, who was a Sahitya Ratna and Shastri in Hindi, in that period, I'm 76 years old, and you can imagine my mother in that era. She was that highly educated. So she inculcated those values in me. First of all, the patriotism, then the value of the Matra Bhasha. So I have been cherishing my language, Hindi language, and Sanskrit, which is the mother of Hindi.
Mhm.
So both these languages are very close to my heart. Over here, I'm speaking in English probably because maybe all the participants are not very familiar with if I speak in Hindi or Sanskrit, or so I'm choosing the language of English for speaking in communication. But otherwise, I prefer to speak and also write in Hindi. Surbi knows it very well because she is in a common WhatsApp group, and I keep writing um, in Hindi at great lengths, even though people don't understand and they say, ki, skip this post because we don't understand it. But I am such a persistent person. I still keep writing. One
The
day they'll realize, and I am seeing the fruits of it. A lot of people have started typing in Hindi now. And I've taught them also lots of times how to use the Hindi keyboard. So these are small steps which you have to undertake in the beginning. You won't suddenly achieve the final targets. So you have to start from this. First of all, make people comfortable at the base in doing little things. And now they are confident. Now they can write, and now they read also. Now they like to talk also in their common language, in their common uh, dialect, and joke about. And so now they realize the importance of mother tongue. Same feelings cannot be conveyed in English, which you convey in your own mother tongue. But that's one thing I was very particular about. Then, secondly, I took up surgery, general surgery. Not many girls go for general surgery. At my age, I was the second Amazonian
Mhm.
who took up general surgery. Everybody stopped me from going for it. They said कि लड़कियां सर्जरी में नहीं जाती हैं. You will face a lot of uh, competition and lot of people will say कि लड़की से सर्जरी नहीं करानी है, पता नहीं ठीक होगा या नहीं, क्या नहीं, जॉब भी नहीं देंगे कि they'll prefer boys over you. But I insisted because I had a lot of passion about it. I was a born artist. I used to paint. I used to do crafts and all. I thought कि सर्जरी में मेरे को एक क्राफ्ट करने को मिलेगा, सिंस आई एम ए डॉक्टर, आई विल बी एबल टू क्राफ्ट थिंग्स. So Professor Yash Gupta probably would appreciate. He's a plastic surgeon, I
Yes.
believe, and how
Yes.
satisfying it is, to sculpt. A physician writes prescriptions, a surgeon creates something, and it's highly satisfying after you've done your job. So I said, I'm going ahead. Doesn't matter. Few of my professors, they used to like me as such on a whole for my work. So they said, okay, go ahead. So I did surgery. When I went for a job, again people said कि कोई आएगा नहीं आपके पास सर्जरी कराने. But I I got a break in government job in the Central Health Services. I joined. I taught students at AIMS first, then LHMC, then MEMC, Maulana Azad Medical College, and people liked it. I didn't face any kind of a stigma or anything. कि लड़की है. I showed my strength in surgery also, and I was to my surprise, and I would like to share with you all. They were male doctors, very senior position, male practicing doctors, themselves surgeons, who came to me for surgery, who chose me over others. कि हमें तो उनसे ही करानी है सर्जरी. और मेरे नीचे मैं अकेली होती थी, वो पिरामिड की जो मैं बात कर रही थी ना, उस पिरामिड के टॉप पर थी मैं, और मेरे नीचे सारे मेल डॉक्टर्स होते थे, बिकॉज सर्जरी में सब मेल ही जाते थे, तो सब मेल डॉक्टर्स होते थे, पर मेरे को कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई. दे ऑल कोऑपरेटेड वेरी वेल. द रीजन वाज you have to adopt to the circumstances and the situations wherever you are working, in whichever field you are. मैं उनके साथ एक फील करने के लिए क्रिकेट देखती थी, यहाँ तक जानती थी कि किसी की बॉलिंग की स्पीड कितनी है. आई यूज्ड टू टॉक सच थिंग्स विद देम, सो दे वर वेरी कंफर्टेबल कि मैम तो हमारे जैसी हैं. उन्हें ये नहीं लगा कि ये कोई फीमेल डॉक्टर है हमारे साथ और ये हमारे ऊपर बैठी हैं और हमारे ऊपर रोब जमाएंगी, हमारी इंचार्ज हैं. उन्हें ऐसा नहीं लगा. दे फेल्ट वन अमंगस्ट. इस तरह से मैं अपना सारा करियर गुजारा, बहुत अच्छे से गुजारा. अब रिटायरमेंट के बाद मेरा जो बेसिक पैशन था कि आई मस्ट प्रमोट हिंदी, आई मस्ट प्रमोट संस्कृत, आई मस्ट प्रमोट कल्चर, भारतीय संस्कृति, एंड especially amongst the younger kids, because they're budding and they're still growing, and that's where you have to catch them. I got a lot of this opportunity during my profession also, because the patients who used to come to me, since I was in government job, they used to come from various economic backgrounds, and they were very vulnerable. A highly educated person is difficult to change, but the basic people, they're very simple, and if you suggest them something and teach them something, they adopt and they follow. So I could convey my ideas to them, and I saw a lot of changes in quite many of them. They come back and touch my feet now for that. So that's the gratification. You don't get money, you don't get fame, but those little things that they acknowledge your contribution, they make you rich. You don't have to need money for it. So that's where I am, and that's how I am there with you.
Thank you. Very nice.
आई थिंक स्प्लेंडेड, वेरी वेरी स्प्लेंडेड करियर. और जो मैम ने कहा
Yes,
कि
very
निज
good.
भाषा उन्नति है सब विकास को मूल. तो जो भाषा की सेवा आपने की विद योर वैद्य धर्म, तो ये बहुत ही प्रशंसनीय, अभिवादन के योग्य है. और जो भारत में अब AICTE से लेकर और मेडिकल कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया प्रयासरत हैं कि द टेक्नो मेडिकल एजुकेशन शुड बी इम्पार्टेड इन द इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस स्टार्टिंग विद द इंजीनियरिंग डिसिप्लिन्स. तो भाषा में प्रवृत्ति जो बात है, एंड देन वी विल बी कमिंग टू प्रोफेसर यश गुप्ता, जिन्होंने की प्रमात्र भाषा, सभी भाषाओं की जो मूल, हमारी भारतीय भाषाओं की मूल जो संस्कृत है, उसमें द संस्कृत इंटेलेक्चुअल ट्रेडिशंस, द वे ही हैज अनरावल्ड the cosmetic surgery principles, and a host of scientific sutras.
I'm on a video call. They are honoring me here.
So we would come to Professor Yash Gupta very shortly. Thanks a lot, ma'am, कि आपने एक विशद और एक बहुत ही इलस्ट्रियस माता की सुपुत्री, जिन्होंने जनरल सर्जरी को, शल्य क्रिया को अपनाया, और मैडम ने जिस प्रकार से पूरे अपने करियर में उसको आगे बढ़ाया, जिन सिद्धांतों के साथ I think the younger generation would be taking it further and forward, and that's where she has put the patients in the center of healthcare, जो कि
Yeah, but
future of
one
health
thing I
थी.
would like to emphasize, which
Yes.
you spoke earlier in my for incitation for me, that we are reaching a stage in which we are specializing, super specializing, and we are pyramid उल्टा हो गया है. नीचे तो नोक खड़ी है और ऊपर बेस ऊपर खड़ा है. मतलब नीचे तो कुछ है ही नहीं सपोर्ट करने के लिए, और ऊपर इतने सारे आ गए हैं. हर कोई नीट करना चाहता है, हर कोई पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन में एडमिशन लेना चाहता है, स्पेशलाइज करना चाहता है, सुपर स्पेशलाइज करना चाहता है. लेकिन बेचारा पेशेंट, इवन आई हु इज अ डॉक्टर माई सेल्फ, व्हेन आई गेट आउट ऑफ माई होम, व्हेन आई हैव टू शो एनीबॉडी इन माई फैमिली, आई डोंट नो कि मैं किसको अप्रोच करूं. 1 2 3 इतने सारे लगे हुए हैं लाइन में. कोई लेफ्ट ईयर को एग्जामिन कर रहा है, तो कोई राइट आर्म का स्पेशलिस्ट है, तो कोई सिर्फ घुटने का है, तो कोई सिर्फ शोल्डर का है. किसके पास जाएं? मतलब कोई ऐसा है ही नहीं जो आपको हेड टू टो देखे और बताए, खुद ही ढूंढ के निकाले कि भाई आपकी कौन से पुर्जे में कहाँ से तालमेल नहीं बैठ रहा है, कहाँ खराबी है. ऐसा वो फैमिली डॉक्टर होता था, वो पहले घर का डॉक्टर होता था, जो घर का एक मेंबर की तरह होता था, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सन होता था. वो हमारे यहाँ मिसिंग है, और उसके लिए कोई कोर्सेज भी नहीं डेवलप हो रहे हैं. और हर कोई अभी भी इसी होड़ में लगा हुआ है कि हम स्पेशलिस्ट, सुपर स्पेशलिस्ट बन जाएं, हम लिवर ट्रांसप्लांट करें, हम किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट करें, बस वही उसी तरह से
जी
आगे करते रहें. बट
जी
ये एक बहुत बड़ा चीज है जिस पर आई थिंक काम करना चाहिए. आप जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को काम करना चाहिए, इसको गवर्नमेंट तक पहुंचाना चाहिए इस आवाज को, कि हमें अपना बेस के लिए कुछ कोर्सेज ऐसे डेवलप करने चाहिए कि लोग उसमें प्राउड फील करें कि उन्होंने एमडी इन जनरल प्रैक्टिस करी, एमडी इन फैमिली मेडिसिन करी है. मतलब वो कम नहीं है, उन्होंने पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन तो कर ली है, लेकिन किस तरह से कि उनको सब चीजों में इंटरेस्ट है और वो सब चीज जानते हैं. ये एक चीज पकड़ के बैठे हैं.
जी जी
तो
जी
इसके लिए मैं चाहूंगी कि आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, सिंस यू हैव ए गुड रीच, तो यू शुड
श्योर
वर्क ऑन इट.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah, this is truly a important thing. And Dr. Surbhi, who happens like एक जनरल फिजिशियन और एक जनरल सर्जन के बीच में एक जो पूरा ब्रह्मांड है चिकित्सा पद्धति का, उसका एक
हाँ.
इंटीग्रेटेड एक समग्र मॉडल की आवश्यकता है, क्योंकि भारतीय चिंतन समग्रता में देखता है, बॉडी एज अ होल. उसके साथ में एक मैक्रो व्यू और एक माइक्रो व्यू के बीच में जो फ्रंट फॉरवर्ड एंड बैकवर्ड linkages, I think we are still in that infancy of a public health system. और ये बहुत सारे मुद्दे पिछले वर्ष जब फ्यूचर ऑफ हेल्थ केयर फोरम आयोजित हुआ था दिल्ली में, इंडिया इंटरनेशनल सेंटर में, तो वहाँ पर ये मुद्दे MCI NABH सभी के साथ रखा गया. इट्स अ वेरी इंटरट्वाइंड वर्क एंड विद डॉयंस लाइक यू हु आर एडवोकेटिंग अबाउट the requirements of I would say family doctors, the general physicians, the United Kingdom model of having the GPs prescribing it to the specialist. Thank you so much, ma'am. These insights will surely take further and forward. आगे बढ़ते हुए इस क्रम में we would now like to felicitate yet another doyen doctor this evening on this very special occasion of Doctors Day, Madam Dr. Isha Shukla. With Arogya Vibhushan, she also has put patients at the center of healthcare. She being a specialist in the neuro space, and we would really like to felicitate her. Her putting patients in the center of healthcare has been exemplified by her cutting edge, accurate diagnosis in the super specialized areas of cerebral aneurysm, vagus nerve stimulation, cerebral palsy, and neuromodulation, compounded with an empathetic patient care. So, while generalist purview is important, but then the specialized care is equally important. I would request Madam Dr. Isha Shukla, ma'am, to accept this token tribute from this August forum and also address us. Ma'am.
Madam Dr. Isha Shukla is also a very, Madam is a very renowned neurologist for serving the Park Hospital, Gurugram, and is a very, very profound member of the AIMS Grand Round, where we discuss such complex cases and giving her expert, accurate diagnosis in the various cases, not just neurology. So neurology is, of course, Madam's really forte. It's a deep privilege and honor to witness and hear, ma'am.
So she is perhaps the icon what Madam.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It is a pleasant evening interacting with all of you. So, on the Doctor's Day, best wishes to all of you. And the message I want to give is that what I feel is the most important is either generalist or specialist get involved in your patients, try to reach the root cause of the thing and try to treat it from your heart. Like not it is not just like writing a prescription and patient to go away. Like you should get involved in him, like just like your own family member or somebody you are treating, and try to put your best. That will also bring the cure in your patient. And also, like, I also feel, though I am a specialist, but I always insist, even for all the specialists, that you don't forget your application of the general medicine. You treat the patient holistically, not just one organ. Like, if the patient has heart problem plus has diabetes also, plus has some neurological problem also, try to integrate the things and treat the patient on a whole, not just a system. And try to get involved in your patient. It is many times I have to work on their psychology also, because in many of my neurological patients, there is a lot of psychology which is playing the part. Patient is becoming unconscious, patient is developing weakness of one side just because of psychological reason also. Means organic reason, neurological reason is there, but his psychology is so much disturbed that you have to spend time upon them, do their counseling, try to find out their causes of the illness, and that will bring the cure in your patient. That is the aim that the doctor must fulfill, and that is how he will be able to serve the society. Thank you.
I think Isha Shukla ma'am has presented that very yoga of being a generalist as well as a specialist. तो यह जो समग्रता की बात है बड़े सुंदरता से उनकी प्रैक्टिस में
Yeah.
उचित होती है. And this empathy student practice what Dr. Shukla presents, keep putting patients in the center of healthcare. This is so very important. We are so very fortunate to have her on this Future of Healthcare forum, because that's where the contours of healthcare would be going further and forward. Moving forward, we now have a very other special dignitary whom we would really like to felicitate with the Arogya Bhushan. Arogya Bhushan talks about embracing disruptive medical traditions and technologies. And we have Dr. R. Chandrasekhar, who is primarily a medical architect, someone who creates facilities within which the doyen doctors perform their host of procedures and the entire healthcare empathy, because putting patients at the center of healthcare is obviously the prime motive of medicos, the Vaidyas, but then giving them a kind of an ecosystem, an architectural space, ek vastu Virat Purush dena. I think that is so very important. And we say that architect defines the mindsets. भारतवर्ष में वास्तुकला का एक बड़ा ही उद्भव विज्ञान रहा है, उद्भट विज्ञान. एंड आई थिंक प्रोफेसर यश गुप्ता would have unraveled some of the scientific sutras, the architectural sutras also from our pantheon. So we would really like to felicitate Dr. R. Chandrasekhar with the Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar Arogya Bhushan, embracing disruptive medical traditions and technologies, which is exemplified by his intense and innovative contributions to the field of healthcare planning, design, and infrastructure development, including the establishment of 6 AIMS-like institutions. We would be learning more from Dr. Chandrasekhar for that, and the phased upgradation of more of 65 odd medical colleges, including the redevelopment of Lady Harding Medical College and the Safdarjung Hospital. So I would like to request Dr. Chandrasekhar to accept this token tribute from this forum and also address us about his work, his focus, and the future of healthcare in his vast experience and I would say his vision about that. Dr. Chandrasekhar.
Thank you so much, and I'm really humbled to receive this award. In fact, you rightly said Arogya. And during COVID, what we learned, everyone talked about no bed, no bed. So Prime Minister's first vision was 2 things: testing facility and also the wellness center. Just screen them right at the source. They need not come to the hospital. And he named it Arogya Mandir. And my journey, when you say I'm born in Tamil Nadu, brought up in Mumbai, and now in Delhi for last 50 years, so I can say namaskaram to Sat Sri Akal. So with this, the languages, when we talked about, the language played a great role in my, visiting various states. I am one of the fortunate person who has visited every state and union territory of this country, so that I could see the variety, see the problem, and see how the whole parameter works in healthcare scenario in different area. The priorities are different. You cannot sit in Nirman Bhavan in Delhi and design something and just send it across. And another, best thing which influenced me, I was working in atomic energy and Tata Institute of Fundamental Research earlier, where I had seen a person cannot even drive a nail for hanging his calendar without checking up with the architect. That was the ground rule set during Bhava's time, and which is still being carried out. So similarly, when I saw that here the buildings are made, equipments arrive late, and then they break the wall. When equipment arrives, the manpower is not there. Then I realized this is where one has to go into detail. And I was very fortunate to go in for a health facility planning, which I studied in School of Planning Architecture, which took me again encouraged me to go in for a PhD. And I did my PhD from BITS Pilani. During that time, when I was almost in the final stage of PhD, I got a WHO fellowship in Medical Architecture Research Unit in London South Bank University, where now, that was 2.5 decades ago, but now where I am a visiting professor. And that taught me so much that my PhD thesis was globally tested. And when I came back, then I made it a very ground rule. Medical architecture means infrastructure, medical equipment, and manpower all together is to be thought of. Otherwise, your building is not going to be functional. PWD makes some building and equipment fellow will come. Everyone is disassociated. And the ultimate suffering is the patient and the clinician. Somebody asked me, what is so great in medical architecture than the normal architecture? I said, I checked up with one of the architects. Why did you design this building like this? He said, sir, doctor told me. Then I said, that was a clinician angle. There is a nursing angle. There is an administrator's angle. There is a patient's angle, even patient's relative angle. Then I gave them an example. If you want to locate your sluice room, that is the where we clean the bedpan, etc. If you ask a nurse, she will say it should be near the duty station, nurse's station. If you ask a public health engineer, he is interested in disposal, so he'll say near the toilet or wherever I can put my pipe and disposal. And if you ask an administrator, he'll say minimum travel distance, because before the patient defecates, I have to give them the pan. So everyone is like an Arjun, focused on their own thing. Medical architect synergizes all the stakeholders and try to bring in. That is how, when I started working on this, I arranged some conferences, brought the hospital administrator and everyone together. You will be surprised. I am the first odd architect who is teaching all MBBS postgraduate for hospital administration with those who are doing. I was teaching in AIIMS, and now I am also in the faculty with the Jammu AIIMS, where IIT, IIM, and AIIMS have joined hand together to start a master's in the management program. So people also realize, I said functional planning is very important. That has,
अभी आने ही वाला है मेरा
minimum travel distance for all the patient, all the doctors, that simplifies the whole parameter. So this is how medical architect took a better this thing. But meanwhile, God was very kind. When I was working so hard on this, I went to Harvard School of Public Health to understand the air quality, indoor air quality, and infection control, particularly airborne infection control, because I was working on TV program. And that helped me in while when I come back, and now during COVID, I was able to prepare guidelines in various indoor air quality. And since I am a chairman with the Indian Green Building Council, where green rating system, healthcare rating system I have introduced, and in that indoor air quality and evidence-based design was the priority. That means connect with nature. Nature is a great healer. Don't try to, people are enclosed design where they don't know whether it is raining outside or, it is, what is the climate. And mentally, we have seen the studies which we have done and carried out, where we have seen that how each side light patient with a ward which has got a eastern side lighting heals faster comparative to the even western side
Yeah,
lighting. So gone into that much detail, and you rightly said, Vastu Shastra not blindly following. Vastu has its own power, but it has to be applied scientifically with the energy management, what we call. And these are the parameter which has took me. And when working all these years with the government of India as a chief architect, various aims we set up, we found what are the challenges in construction, and now you find there is no multiple contractor, there is one contract, and we give him on EPC, that is engineering, procurement, and construction, what we call it design and build. And in that also, we divided that we should get a good design. So design should be put on competition, global, and select a good architect, and that concept and master plan attached with your tender. Another one thing which I introduced, it is always said, it is very easy to make friends, but very difficult to maintain friendship. Hospital also is very easy to make a 7-star hospital, but if maintenance is not done, then everything goes bad. So I requested my secretary and get an order issued that make the tender along with the maintenance contract at least for 5 years, so that the fellow will behave well, because he has to maintain for another 5 years. So that means you get some quality product. So such new things which I introduced, which has been based on our experience. And in the similar line, right now, even the presently I'm being a teaching besides the aims, IHMR, and also I teach London South Bank University, and I am also a vice president of building information modeling. So I teach in Spain, the Spanish university, on the same thing. But everywhere, design a sustainable building and sustainable architecture. Green is the mission, because globally we all know that energy, how you have to achieve net zero energy. And this is how I carry on. Presently, after retirement, I am with the World Bank, and I am helping them in the similar line. And also the contribution is that I am devoted to or connected with, like Madam also said, that you have to give back to society. So I'm connected with Shivananda Ashram in Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand, where Swamiji was carrying out cataract operation free for all the people. I connected them with National Blindness Control Program, so that it helps, achieving target for Government of India. At the same time, also Swamiji gets benefited of whatever per patient this thing. Then I connected them from Uttarkashi to Rishikesh AIMS in telemedicine, so that at least the patient need not travel all the way. And thanks to COVID, in one way, that you can work from home. So home can be anywhere. So I have made my home sometime in Ganga Kinare in Uttarkashi.
Yes,
So, broadband is what required. Nowadays, the network is very good.
Sir.
So with that, these are the parameters which I am working with. And
So,
my journey is still on because health infrastructure is always the need of the hour. And post-COVID, everyone wants some or the other help in this way. So
sir,
I help a lot of states in
जी.
helping them. Thank
So
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
वैद्य राज्य धन्वंतरी भगवान का विश्वकर्मा वास्तुशिल्पी विश्वकर्मा से जो योग है उसको हमारे डॉक्टर आर चंद्रशेखर ने प्रस्फुटित किया है.
Very nice. Very nice.
So we would now
Okay.
like to pay our humble tribute on this very auspicious occasion to Professor Dr. Yash Gupta. We would really like to pay our humble tribute and decorate him with Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar Arogya Ratna, Doctor, for shifting focus from treatment to prevention. And this very pertinent aspect has been exemplified by Professor Gupta's transcendence from being an expert of microsurgery and tissue expansion techniques to repair complex wounds, being a fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons, to his unprecedented unraveling of sutras of science in Sanskrit scriptures and uncovering the innate philosophical treatise of a fulfilling life therein, something which we have inscribed on this citation, Jivem Shardha Shatam, Pashem Shardha Shatam. So the philosophical view, along with his great, immaculate surgical interventions. So I would request Dr. Gupta to accept this token tribute from this forum and also address us over here. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm actually in USA at the moment. I've been invited here. So it was a little bit difficult to join up with you guys. But thank you very much for the honor, Raghav, Dr. Surbi, Dr. Renuka Bansal, Professor Chandrasekhar. It was very nice listening to your journeys. I am a AIMS graduate. I entered in 1971, and after doing some pediatric and orthopedic surgery, I left for England, and I became one of the youngest fellow of Royal College of Surgeons. And then I pursued general surgery, trauma surgery, and then I became plastic surgeon. Now the plastic surgery is mostly it's for cancer, for trauma, for reconstruction of burns and congenital deformities. Cosmetic surgery is usually associated as being plastic surgery, is a very small part of plastic and reconstructive surgery. So most of my work, and I've done thousands of operations for replanting the limbs, microsurgery, and using tissue expansion for burns and other surgeries. So the focus has been trying to get patients better and make them also the appearance better, in that process. But then something happened very different to me, and I was awarded. My name is in Royal College of Royal Society of Medicine here in London. Then I was invited by Harvard in the medical leadership program about 14 years ago. And there I came across certain verses, which I'll just like to share for 5 minutes. I came across a verse in scripture called Brahma Samhita. And at that time, I was not aware of all this. I had done some work on Sushruta Samhita, and which I actually presented at the Royal College of Surgeons. But this shloka, which said, this is the prayer of Brahma to Lord Krishna at the beginning of creation. And Brahma is saying something I'll just quote now. Yat chakshuresha savita sakala grahanam Raja samasta sura murti shesh teja yasyagya brahmati samrato kal chakro govindam madhipurusham tamam bhajami. So this shlok is so profound that this is describing Brahmaji is saying it is by your order that sun, along with all its planet, Surya, sakal grahanam, सारे ग्रहों के साथ समृतो काल चक्रो अपने काल चक्र में घूम रहा है. So they are describing the orbit of sun along the center of galaxy. And then I said this fact was not known to modern science 100 years ago. So I said, this is, how is it possible that thousand of, so I looked more and more into our scriptures. Then I studied Gita, I studied Bhagavatam Puran, I studied Brahm Samhita, I studied Isha Upanishad, Sushruta Samhita, everything I studied. And then I compiled a book which is called Science in Sanskrit Scriptures, which was released by Dr. Karan Singh ji 3 years ago at the India International Center. And since then, it's become a bit of my passion to actually bring it to the international and also in the national forums that I've been invited. So I feel that Sanskrit, knowing our roots, our culture, our tradition, our value system, and my next book I'm writing is on the Sanatan value system, how it can make our lives better in modern times.
Mhm.
So that's my next book, which I've written, started writing about 25 pages I've written. But the important thing is that it has to be all evidence based.
Mhm.
So in my book, whatever I'm saying, I'm quoting the relevant shlokas. So even the speed of rotation of sun, which is like 480,000 miles an hour, I picked up the shloka from Bhagavatam Puran and explained how the speed comes to the same, which we know it as today. So it is absolutely amazing. This is one of the examples, but there are lots and lots of other examples for which you can read my book. I'll be visiting India in November, December, winter time. Couple of months I'll be there. So I'm hoping to kind of do a presentation, which I do for like 30 minutes, PowerPoint presentation, followed by any questions and answers. And on the topic of which Professor Chandrasekhar and Dr. Renuka Bansal also mentioned, that we need to develop a better system of actually access, what we call the access in NHS for access for the patients. So ease of access for the patients. In fact, we've worked a lot, been on the advisory and the boards and things here in the NHS, and we've developed a very comprehensive system. And I think and the present government is doing very good job of trying to make the healthcare accessible to all. And they have brought in the insurances. They're bringing the new clinics. There's the system of I've worked in villages as a village posting. So how we can all get the primary care, the clinics, the primary care, the tertiary care, all integrated according to the need. So that's something which we need to work on, and that's where we are. Thank you very much.
So thanks a lot, sir. I think प्राच्य का पश्चिम से योग, आधुनिक का प्राचीनता से योग, that is what Dr. Yash Gupta represents and symbolifies. And गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमहम नमामि, साइंस और स्पिरिचुअलिटी का जो योग Dr. Gupta is presenting through his very immaculate and scientific process, because nobody because a doctor is a scientist of the highest order, because the way Nirikshan, Parikshan, Sarvekshan, the entire scientific process, and that's how he heals the patients. And the entire focus what Dr. Gupta has shown, the whole cycle, एक चक्रवर्तीयता जो है कि after having emerged at the highest level of surgery, some of the finest and some of the most intricate surgical procedures, Dr. Gupta is focusing a lot on unraveling the integral knowledge systems of Sanatan Bharat. And I think जैसा कि डॉक्टर चंद्रशेखर ने भी बताया कि द वे वास्तु पुरुष विश्वकर्मा और वैद्य धन्वंतरी का जो समागम, जो योग उन्होंने प्रस्तुत किया है, आई थिंक दिस हैज बीन अ fabulous day to commemorate these eminent doyens who are blessing, who are inspiring, who are giving us the contours of future, the future of healthcare in all formats. And somewhere I feel that अभी हम लोगों ने जैसे ओपनहाइमर ने भी गीता का एक श्लोक पढ़ा, और somewhere or the other his inspiration to create that nuclear energy, he became a votary of nuclear non-proliferation soon after, when
Yes.
he saw the kind of power what the nucleus have. Somewhere or the other, that Oppenheimer movement happened with Dr. Gupta, and perhaps we all, as the community, the humanity at large, we would be blessed by some of his unravelings of the core causes of diseases जो हमारे भारतवर्ष में अधिभौतिक अधिदैविक और आध्यात्मिक तीन तापों का वर्णन है. So perhaps that integration, that subtle aspects in the yogic sciences, whatever exists, perhaps there can be some yoga at some point in time with doyens like Professor
Yeah,
Dr.
and
Yash
in
Gupta.
fact, that thank you very much, Raghav, because I just wanted to make a point at this stage that I was recently honored in the British Parliament for my work, and also I've liaised with the Ayurvedic, and we are working on the Ayurvedic integration with the English system of medicine,
Correct.
and so it's I think they are complementary to each other, and I think we should be working a lot towards. And now that I'm proving more and more the science, because in my book, I've written the Sushruta's reconstructive techniques, and I've done my own drawings, and I've shown the comparison with my own operations
Yes.
in there. Where, and surgery is one part which we don't associate with Ayurveda. This is amazing that Sushruta, who wrote a full treatise, and he actually attributes it to Yathovach Bhagwan Dhanvantri. That's how he starts. This is being told to me by Bhagwan Dhanvantri. And he was a surgeon, was first plastic surgeon. Sanubandhena Jivita. The first description of flap. Sanubandhena Jivita, that which is alive by its connection. And this is, I proved that it is the first definition of flap ever in the history of surgery. And I got a standing ovation at the Royal College of Surgeons, because everything I'm saying is evidence based. And I think that is the key to bringing out our system in a better way, is to prove it that it is evidence based, that it works, and then we have to use the same scientific methodology to progress it further.
थैंक्स अलॉट. और प्रोफेसर गुप्ता का जो प्राण ऊर्जा का जो संवेग हम देखते हैं, आई थिंक योग में अन्नमय कोश से और मनोमय कोश का जो संवाद है वो एक प्राणमय कोश के माध्यम से होता है. अष्टांग योग में यम नियम आसन के बाद प्राणायाम का ही महत्व है, तभी प्रत्याहार की स्थिति पे हम पहुंचते हैं. और उसी प्राणायाम को द एंटायर ह्यूमन बॉडी सिस्टम, द मस्कुलो स्केलेटल सिस्टम of the pulmonology, I think that is where our next recipient, I would say we would really like to pay our humble tributes to Dr. Saurabh Pahuja, who specializes, super specializes, and if specialization has a next level of granularity, I think he has championed it all in the domain of pulmonology. And he has embraced disruptive medical traditions and technology कि प्राण का, क्योंकि मनुष्य का जो शरीर है सनातन परंपरा में, जो मनुष्य का शरीर है उसमें प्राण ऊर्जा का बहुत ही महत्व है. एंड पल्मोनोलॉजी इज द कोर ऑफ इट ऑल. एंड इवन द एंटायर कोविड पैंडेमिक, व्हाट डॉक्टर चंद्रशेखर टॉक्ड अबाउट द फ्रेश एयर, प्राण वायु की बात हम करते हैं, तो हाउ इट अफेक्ट्स अस ऑल. So Dr. Pahuja is that doyen, is that ultra super specialist in the domain of pulmonology, I would say. And he serves the Amrita Hospital, which again presents that yoga of a corporate hospital with a community touch. माता अमृतानंदमयी जो कि केरल में विराजती हैं, she has done a lot what the Indian saints and seers, चिकित्सा और शिक्षा में ही they used to inspire their disciples to invest, because यही तो समाज के मूल आधार रहे हैं. So Dr. Pahuja's citation is quite technical in nature, but I would really like to read that he has spanned the entire spectrum of highly advanced pulmonology aspects of respiratory critical care like ECMO, extracorporeal membrane oxygenator, HFNC, high flow nasal cannula, NAVA, neutrally adjusted ventilatory assist, and international pulmonology services like flexible bronchoscopies, including bronchovascular lavage, BALD, and endobronchial biopsy, EBBX, uh, conventional transbronchial needle aspiration, CTBNA, transbronchial lung biopsies, linear and radial EBUS, guided TBNA and biopsy, along with his keen interest and desired training in advanced interventional pulmonology procedures like rigid bronchoscopy, stent placement, debulking, balloon dilation, transbronchial lung syrobiopsy, tracheal stenosis management and diagnostics, as well as therapeutic thoracoscopic procedures. So, this is a long list of extremely specialized proficiencies what Dr. Pahuja has gathered. His academic career has been from Nagpur to Kanpur to Indraprasth, Delhi. That has been his great cerebral contribution. I would invite Dr. Pahuja to accept this token tribute and also address the forum. Dr. Pahuja.
So thank you very much, sir, and ma'am, Survi ma'am, for inviting me and honoring me with this award. I would like to say I'm really blessed to be among the doyens of medicine who have been joining and who have been getting this award today. So I'm too young, so I don't have too much of my background of medical knowledge which I can share with the audience. I have just started my journey. It's almost been 5 years since I have passed out from AIMS, and would say that as a part of a younger generation, we guys have a lot of energy. We just need a good channelization so as we can do something for our society. The experience of treating somebody and to be meaningful to the society, I felt was the first time when we had a COVID wave. So that time I was at AIMS when we were running one of the largest center at AIMS for COVID patients, and there we thought, and there we found that with the help of our knowledge, we were able to do justice to the society as well as this. So we just need good seniors, good teachers who can just focus us, who can just guide us so as to we can go in certain direction and do good for the society. It's too soon to say that I have experience of these many years and tell my journey. I've just started my journey. But yes, as there is a lot of brain drain to Western countries in our country also, I would like to just request my seniors to guide us youngsters because we are full of energy, and with your experience, with your expertise, we can take Indian healthcare and not just take, we are taking Indian healthcare to another level. So we just need the blessing of seniors like all of us who have joined us so that they can help us and help our country in shaping the future of healthcare in our country.
So thank you, Dr. Pahuja. Quite a humble acceptance, but then it is youngsters like you who the future of Indian healthcare would be in your hands, and perhaps no Indian patients, perhaps in the domain of pulmonology, would have to be ever transcommuted to the Western countries, to the advanced countries, with super specialists like you serving the corporate community hospitals like Amrita. That is quite a great choice, and that exemplifies your commitment to the cause of Bharatiya Chikitsa Padhyati. Thank you so much. And this really gives us, as Dr. Renuka Bansal Malik ma'am talked, that there has been between the two poles of a general physician and a general surgeon. I think this is the entire vivid, eclectic spectrum of super specialists, medical architects, neurologists like Dr. Isha Shukla ma'am. So the whole universe, the whole design, the complicated medical structure is really shaping up in the country, and we are really so very honored. And now moving forward, as Professor Dr. Yash Gupta's Ojmai Tejmai Vani talked about that shifting focus from ट्रीटमेंट टू प्रिवेंशन एंड परहैप्स इट ऑल स्टार्ट्स दे से संस्कारों की बात भी हमारे आज के डिग्निटरीज ने बात कही तो संस्कार और शिक्षा इसका भी एक योग है तो चिकित्सा को विद्यालय स्तर पर ही उसको फोकस करने का जो भाव था कोविड टाइम में वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन केम अप विद अ वेरी एलाबोरेट गाइडलाइन एंड वी थिंक इंडिया पिक्ड अप बिकॉज आवर प्राइमरी engagement is with the larger educational community and WHO talked about school health management services and they say that schools are essential for young people to acquire knowledge socio emotional skills including self regulation and resilience and critical thinking skills that provide the foundations for a healthy future. So, access to education and safe and supportive school environments have been linked to better health outcomes. In turn, good health is linked to reduced dropout rates and greater educational attainment, educational performance, employment, and productivity. So, schools have thereby a central role to play in safeguarding student health and well being. So many health conditions can be better managed or prevented if they are detected early. So the school environment and school health services provide an opportunity for time interventions across a range of conditions, including anxiety and depression, behavioral disorders, diabetes, overweight, obesity, and undernutrition. We threw out a challenge based on this elaborate WHO guidelines, which have 87 interventions, as you can see on this slide. 12 interventions under the health promotion, 6 interventions under health education, 9 interventions under health screening, 5 interventions under preventive health, 4 interventions under health services management, 9 interventions under the support for other pillars, and 42 interventions under clinical assessments. And we are so very fortunate to have received very elaborate and very authoritative, uh, 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 submissions on these 87 parameters from two very prominent schools from the national capital. Schools still have to invoke and see themselves as the health promoting schools. So first and the foremost, we will really like to felicitate the KIIT Word School, Pitampura, Delhi, whose elaborate submission, it gives us the pride and privilege to honor them as a Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar Health Promoting School for the year 2025. They are trying to really put up values and ethos are fine, but healthcare practices, Aarogyata ki practices, what they are invoking upon. I would request the representative from KIIT Word School, Dr. Surbi.
Yeah, we have Manpreet Kaur madam from KIT World School, Pitampura.
Yeah.
Would request you, madam, to kindly come on camera and accept this felicitation, this token of appreciation. Manpreet Kaur ma'am is there with us online. I think she's just.
Okay, so till she joins the other school, which is quite a competing school and the kind of, yeah, I think we have got Manpreet ma'am. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It is with immense gratitude that I accept this prestigious recognition on behalf of KIT World School and our respected principal, Dr. Sangeeta Bhatia. And we sincerely thank the Rethink India Foundation for honoring our institution's commitment to fostering a safe and healthy learning environment. And this award reaffirms our belief that education is not just limited to academics alone, but extends to nurturing physical, emotional, and mental well being. At KIT, we believe in empowering our students through awareness, preventive practices, and responsible habits to safeguard school health. So, from hygiene drives and mental wellness sessions to inclusive sports programs and nutritious meal planning, we embed health consciousness into daily school life. So, this recognition really inspires us to continue our journey towards better health outcomes, and not just for our students, but for the entire school community. Thank you so much once again for this meaningful honor. I'll just try if I could switch on my camera. I've been trying, but I can't, I don't have any success. So,
Your voice has been quite emphatic, ma'am, and I think the entire spectrum of 30,000 odd CBSE schools across the nook and cranny of country would be really taking inspiration from your initiatives as to how to convert. You have really done the yoga of education with healthcare, which are quite the two dominant pillars of any developed society for that matter. Yeah, we have Manjeet
fine.
Kaur on the camera. Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
Yeah. I will just do it.
Just came back from school. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So so it's quite heartening, and we would be really putting up the elaborate submission, the kind of great interventions and innovations what schools are really doing apart from the artificial intelligence and the futuristic frontiers of technology. They are also anchoring the students on the core vitals, as ma'am said, that the physical, emotional, and the psychic health, which is so very vital for a holistic career ahead. Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving forward, we would now like to felicitate yet another health promoting school in Bal Bharti Public School, Pitampura, which has also filled up, come up really very, very well on the majority of the 87 health promoting school initiatives and interventions. So it was quite a challenging work on, as I showed, the various dimensions, the interventions under the 7 pillars of health promotion, health education, health screening, preventive health, health services management, and perhaps this is the pathway for Aarogyata Ratna, moving from treatment to prevention. And that is where the public health system of the country would really, I would say, flourish over there. I would request Madam Preeti Khanna ma'am from Bal Bharti Public School, Pitampura, to accept this token tribute from this August forum and also address out here. Please, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I'm traveling, so I'll not be able to switch on the camera. But I've been listening to all the dignitaries till now, and it's so wonderful to hear such great people into the field of medicine and healthcare. And talking about the award, it's an initiative by Rethink India, and a gratitude to Rethink India to felicitate us with this award.
Keta, Meka, sorry, not able to.
Yeah, please, ma'am, please carry on.
Yeah. So we've been and as it is correctly said, a healthy mind stays in a healthy body. So in case, whenever we see children growing up, whenever we want the children to go to greater heights, it's always the healthy body and the healthy mind. We've been through these parameters that Rethink is already given, and believe me, it was such an eye opener, and we've been working towards it. And our aim is to go beyond these limits also, to have the best citizens in the world who are physically and mentally fit. And of course, another thing that we need to do is to spread more awareness about certain things, which indeed is going to result India becoming the topmost country in health very soon. Thank you, Rethink, for felicitating. It's an honor to receive the award. Thank you so much. And special thanks from my principal, Mrs. Sonia Chabra, for this award.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. And we come to the conclusion. हमारे यहाँ कथाओं का विश्राम होता है. And as Dr. Renuka Bansal ma'am also said that a lot of homework has come to us on our shoulders by our seniors from here. How to further deepen the yoga, how to create a kind of a intertwined ecosystem of healthcare, not just in India, but from India. Ano Bhadra Kratvo Yantu Vishwataha used to be the Indic aspiration. Ki let noble thoughts come to us from all directions. But then aspirational Bharat is talking about Karanvato Vishwatu Aryam. तो जो आर्य संस्कृति भारत की जो सुसंस्कृत संस्कृति रही, of which Dr. Renuka Bansal Malik ma'am has been quite a votary of, being one of the doyen general surgeons, the second Amazonian to have taken upon that challenge. And she reminds of that sometime maybe on her biopic, a movie is made like Gunjan Saxena of the Kargil victory fame. That how, because these are the stories which need to be told. We had the great good fortune of talking to Dr. Yash Gupta, his elaborate presentation on Sanskrit scriptures, perhaps a similar such elaborate session from Renuka ma'am about the various stories, how she played cricket with her juniors and brought them into the fold as a matriarch. क्योंकि भारतवर्ष में तो माता का पद ही सबसे उच्चतम रहा है, ये पश्चिम की विवेचना से कहीं ऊपर बात है. डॉक्टर चंद्रशेखर जिन्होंने आर्किटेक्चर को चिकित्सा से जो इतने सुंदर तरीके से अंतर्गुम्फित किया है, प्राण वायु को कैसे प्रवाहित करें, द स्टेल एयर कंडीशनिंग विच कंज्यूम सो मच ऑफ एनर्जी. जब सूर्य की ऊर्जा है चारों तरफ, एक बड़ा ही सुंदर अगर वातावरण हो, एक आश्रम की तरह से चिकित्सा का स्थान क्यों ना हो. आई थिंक दीज आर आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स थॉट्स, एंड परहैप्स the world has to now learn from us, and that's what the International Yoga Day, which comes on the summer solstice, we are a bit delayed, but that is the commemoration which we are making. And today is the yoga of two eminent personalities, Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, in whose memory formally the government of India established this Doctors Day in 1991, and डॉक्टर केशव बलिराम हेडगेवार, जिन्होंने समग्र राष्ट्र जीवन के विराट मानव को जोड़ दिया, समस्त भारतीय समाज को एक आइडेंटिटी देकर उनको उद्भासित किया, एक सिंपल व्यायाम की प्रक्रिया से। उनका जो पूरा एग्जाम्प्लिफिकेशन है वो है कि कहीं भी आप दौड़ते हुए मैदान में चले जाइए, 66,000 से 75,000 तक प्रातःकालीन शाखाओं में, आई थिंक दैट इज द कल्मिनेशन ऑफ दैट पल्मोलॉजी, एवरीथिंग। और अगर आपने प्राण ऊर्जा का वो पान कर लिया, उषाह पान जिसको कहते हैं, आई थिंक रोग आपको ग्रसित ही नहीं कर सकता। एंड समवेयर भारतवर्ष में जो भावना रही, जीवेम शरदा शतम, भूयेम शरदा शतम, पश्येम शरदा शतम, बुद्धियेम शरदा शतम, रोहेम शरदा शतम। आप सभी वैद्य राजों को, वैद्य राज नमस्तुभ्यम, आप सभी को प्रणाम आज के इस अवसर पर। और आप लोग आए, आपने अपना एक बहुमूल्य समय इस मंच को प्रदत्त किया। बहुत कुछ सीखने को, बहुत कुछ प्रेरणास्पद है। जैसे डॉक्टर पहूजा ने कहा कि एक पूरी जनरेशन वुड लर्न फ्रॉम डॉक्टर यश गुप्ता, डॉक्टर रेणुका बंसल मलिक, प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर चंद्रशेखर आर, जिन्होंने हॉस्पिटल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के तत्वाधान में कैसे हम फ्यूचरिस्टिक हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटीज को क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। एंड ऑल्सो द यंग बडिंग स्कूलिंग, द हेल्थ प्रमोटिंग स्कूल्स, क्योंकि एक अभियान होना चाहिए आरोग्यता का, और वो विद्यालयी शिक्षा के अलावा कहीं और हो ही नहीं सकता। मैं निवेदन करूंगा डॉक्टर सुरभि को कि वो अपना धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव ज्ञापित करें, बीइंग द अध्यक्षा ऑफ रीथिंग इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट एंड आरोग्यम इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंटीग्रेटेड मेडिकल साइंसेज। डॉक्टर सुरभि।
So I would take this very divine and precious opportunity to thank all our distinguished luminaries and doyens, Dr. Renuka Bansal Malik, Madam, Professor Dr. Yash Gupta, Sir, Professor Dr. Chandrasekhar R, Sir, Madam Dr. Isha Shukla, Ma'am, Professor Dr. Saurabh Pahuja Ji, and our very distinguished health promoting schools. And बात होती है जब आरोग्यता की, तो आरोग्य मन, आरोग्य तन और आरोग्य आत्मा। So at Rethink India, we talk of the mind, body, and soul. So mindfulness to soulfulness, with heartfulness, with these prayers and wishes, wishing all our distinguished audience and all the luminaries who have taken out precious time to commemorate this special Dr. Vidhan Chandra Roy's birth anniversary as our Indian National Doctors Day. Once again, heartiest congratulations and
Pranams.
pranam from all of us at here at Rethink India.
Pranam.